Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online and welcome to Daily Current Affairs discussion. So we will see today's articles before discussing in detail. We will briefly see what are all the articles that we are going to discuss. First one, Pejal Survekshan Awards. These are the awards recently announced by Ministry of Urban Affairs, Housing and Urban Affairs. The awards are yet to be announced. They are going to be announced on March 5th, but we will see what is the details, what type of awards they are going to give as of now. On March 5th, once the awards are announced, we will discuss about the winners. Okay, so this was recently announced, so it becomes very important. And then 4 members of captains were announced by Honorable Prime Minister yesterday. So we will see who are all those astronauts, and then we will also see about Gaganyaan mission in a little bit more detail. Okay, so this is very important for competitive exams. And then there were new railways in Jammu Kashmir. You all know railways is very common thing in most of the states, but Jammu Kashmir is a state or union territory which is complex, which is having complex geography with the number of hills and then icy regions. So here it becomes important as we have very less railways in Jammu Kashmir. Okay, so we will see what are all the new railway lanes that has been announced. Then election symbols. You might be following, if you are a person from Maharashtra, you might be aware that there was a new election symbol given to the National Congress Party NCP, that is in Maharashtra, but it is just a fact. We will see what are all actual election symbols and how they are worked by Election Commission of India. So those facts are also important for our exam. We will see them in detail. And then obelisks. So they are the new viruses that has been discovered. Of course, we have to know much details in the coming researches. So we don't know the in detail about how they work and all, but yes, briefly we will see what are all they, and in future we are going to know more about it, and then we will come up with those things when it is being published in the news magazines, right? So still research is going on, just an observation has been made. Also, today we are celebrating National Science Day, that is February 28th. So we'll see what is the context and then theme and what is the history of National Science Day. We will also see a little bit details about C.V. Raman, what his discovery was. And then 10,000 Genome Project, which is also called as Genome India Project, has been completed, which was announced by Department of Biotechnology and the Ministry of Science, right? So we will see what is the project, what is the objectives, what they have done. Finally, Rajya Sabha elections has been done. Fine, we will discuss what is Rajya Sabha and then what are all the elections. But there was a cross voting. I mean, some party members from Congress has voted for BJP and some members from BJP has voted for Congress, especially where the governments are holding power in the states. For example, in Karnataka, Congress holds the government, so some members of BJP has voted to the Karnataka. So we will see what actually happened. Before that, we will discuss what is Rajya Sabha and what are the elections. We will also see the role of whip, very important for our exam. Okay, and then there are 2-3 factual pointers, of course. Finally, we will see some practice questions. Also, I wanted to tell you all, as many of you were asking that we need PDF of the document every day. So after the end of the session, I have asked our team to attach the PDF link under the video itself, so you can download the PDFs. But I just want to tell you one thing, that mere reading of the PDF will not work. You need to understand the concepts. These PDFs are just plainly made, but what's the explanation has happening in this is more detailed. So try to understand, then only you try to read those things, right? So I hope that PDF issue is also resolved now from today. Let's go into the discussion. See, this article is a short one. We will spend significant time on Rajya Sabha and Rajya Sabha elections and whip, and then National Science Day a little bit, and then Gaganyaan mission. So 2, 6 and 8 require a little bit more discussion, and rest of the things are factual in nature, right? Yeah. So Pejal Survekshan Awards, I hope you are ready, and if you have any doubts, you can post the query here. Pejal Survekshan Awards. These were the awards announced by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Okay, and they are going to be announced on 5th March, that is the next coming month. In a week, they are going to announce in Vigyan Bhavan, right, in New Delhi. But we will see the winners the next week once that is announced. We are going to see what is this awards, for what they are giving and what type of awards are categorized. That's all, okay, for today. So these are the awards which are going to be given for those cities and states. Cities in the sense the metropolitan cities as well as the states who have performed well in the sanitation and all. Already we have Swachh Survekshan awards and all, but these are a little bit different in terms of the performance, right? So this will be given in various categories. First one will be Payjal Gold, and then Payjal Silver, and finally Payjal Bronze. So these are the three categories, and these are given again in subcategories. Understand here. So there will be different categories of cities. Not all the cities have equal population in India, isn't it? So some cities have 1 to 10 lakhs, some cities have 10 to 40 lakhs population, and some cities have more than 40 lakhs. So they have been categorized into three parts. This will also be asked in the statement based questions, right? So there are three categories of cities based on the population, and for every category 1 to 10 lakh population city they will give three awards: gold, silver and bronze. And then 10 to 40 lakh cities, again there will be three cities, top three: gold, and then silver, and then bronze. Finally, more than 40 lakh cities also will be given with three awards. So there are three categories of cities and then three categories of awards. Each category of city will get the three awards, right? So this is the mechanism that they have announced. Similarly, they are going to award best water body. I mean, whatever the state that is working for, within the state we have a different water body. So which water body have performed well, we will they will give this as well. Sustainability champion, reuse champion, how they are using the material, water quality, city saturation, and then coveted Amrut 2.0 rotating trophy. Okay, so we will also see about Amrit scheme, don't worry. But yes, these are the categories, and when they are going to announce these awards, you need to remember these things, the names, which cities has won and all, they will ask in the exam. These are the categories, and also one more important initiative will be launched on March 5th, that is Amrit Mitra initiative. We will see a little bit details about this as well, right? So we have seen the context, and then we have seen what awards they are going to announce. The category is also important, right? Now we will see what actually is Amrit Mitra initiative that they are going to launch. This is a involvement of women self-help groups. Self-help groups means a group of women coming together and supporting each other and then contributing to economy. It can be economic production, it can be employment creation, it can be contribution for the cleanliness as well. So self-help groups are the group of women which are contribute for India's economy. These groups will be encouraged by giving awards and then giving some monetary benefits as well. Whoever has contributed, those SHGs will be awarded. Okay, and what type of contribution they are going to do? Under Amrit 2.0 projects, we will see what Amrit is. Just try to understand, and then at the end we can connect the dots. Okay, where we have left. So all the women who are going to contribute under Amrit 2.0, such as bill collection, leak detections, once they will reach to the homes and then they will take care of these things, plumbing works, all these things, the women groups will take care under Amrit 2.0. So those women will be awarded, right? So that is Amrit Mitra initiative. Now let's know about the Amrit and then Amrit 2.0. The full form is also important in some exams where you are writing at the lower level, right? Even engineering service exam got some full forms this year for from general studies. So Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation. This is the full form of Amrit. This was launched in 2015 and it has a very broad category. I mean, it covers everything related to the city. You know, few decades before, even in cities, it is a very unhygienic condition. Even today we have certain things, but there was an improvement, right? So this was launched to holistically develop the cities in terms of sewerage, public transport, parks, cleanliness. It was integrated with Swachh Bharat mission. So they want to make cities holistic, like Western countries where the cities are maintained. So the similar way we want to develop this in Indian cities. That was the aim of the Amrit mission, which was launched in 2015. Year is also important. Earlier, the Amrit the first version, this is the second version. Before version was focusing on infrastructure creation. What are the basic infrastructure like transport, the different types of waste collectors like green, red, and then dumping at certain places, recycling. So all those infrastructures were the main aim of Amrit first version. Okay, so initially they have selected 500 cities to implement these things. Across India, they have selected 500 cities and implemented it. Now, Amrit 2.0 will be mainly focused on sewerage and septic management. We have created infrastructure, we have developed the aestheticness of the city, but still sewerage was a difficult thing to be managed. Whenever there was a floods, especially in the cities like Hyderabad, Bangalore, Delhi, there is a lot of sewerage mixing with the water and then flooding across the roads, right? So the issue was still persisting. That's why government has launched Amrit 2.0 specifically to handle the sewerage as well as septic management. They may ask you in the exam, what is the main focus of Amrit 2.0? They will give infrastructure creation and all, but the specific thing is water management related to sewerage and septic management. Okay, so there are two important aims under Amrit 2.0. One is 100% coverage of water supply to all the households in the city. Right? What is the very basic minimum requirement to maintain cleanliness or to maintain our own benefit or necessities, right? So this is the main aim, 100% coverage of water supply, covering 4,700 urban local bodies and then 2.68 crore tap water connections. They are going to give the tap water connection. These numbers are also important. They are changing slightly the numbers and giving the statements. So you need to be aware about the, at least at the basic level you need to understand the general level. So these are the targets, and also 100% coverage of sewage and septic tanks. So they want to maintain the sewage and the waste thing in a better manner in this selected cities of 500 Amrit cities. That is the Amrit 2.0 version, right? So what we have seen here, we have seen the new awards that are being announced by Ministry of Housing Affairs, but the winners are yet to be announced. We have seen what are the categories of awards being given, and then we have also seen Amrit Mitra initiative, where the women will go to homes under Amrit 2.0 projects, and then they do all these things, plumbing, wherever it is required, right? And then we have seen briefly about Amrit first version. Finally, we have seen the version of 2.0, which government is going to undertake, right? So this is about the holistic discussion about the Payjal awards as well as the Amrit initiative. If you have any doubts, you can post here. As there was no comment, I am going ahead with the next article. Okay. So Gaganyaan mission. In this mission, we are going to discuss the geosynchronous satellite, then geo transfer orbit. Those are also we are going to discuss here. So whenever you are listening the class, especially the conceptual things, have a good presence of mind. Don't deviate your mind from the discussion. Okay. So we will see. You all know yesterday that Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has announced 4 names. Captain Prashant Balkrishnan Nair and then Ajit Krishnan. These names are also important to be remembered. And then Anganad Pratap. These are all the captains. And then Wing Commander Subhanshu Shukla. So these are the 4 astronauts or the persons who are going to see the space through the Gaganyaan mission, right? So these are the names announced by the government. That's why we have taken this article. So before going into the details, let's understand the basic aim of Gaganyaan. The basic aim is to launch the humans, the Indians, into the space, right? See, some things cannot be noted by the machines. They don't know exactly, the machines does not know exactly the condition in the space. They may estimate the broader criteria, but humans can do in a much better manner what is the exact existing condition. So the main aim is to test ourselves whether India is India is capable to launch humans into the space. That is the very basic aim of Gaganyaan mission, and this is going to be launched in lower Earth orbit. So lower Earth orbit means this is Earth and surrounding it, here you can say. So if this is Earth and around it approximately, for example, I am Earth, and if the radius will be approximately 400 kilometers, 300 to 400 kilometers from Earth's surface, they are going to launch the Gaganyaan mission, and within that mission, this space crew will be there, right? So it is going to rotate, and these 4 people are going to stay for 5 to 7 days in the space itself. right? So the aim is to demonstrate our capability to launch the humans into the space, right? Yeah. Now, what are all the aspects of Gaganyaan? There are some important components of Gaganyaan which we need to know for the exam. They will ask for sure. Okay. First one is, what is the rocket being used to launch this Gaganyaan mission? That is very basic thing. We need to know about the rocket, right? So the rocket name is Launch Vehicle Mark III. Earlier it was called as GSLV Mark III. Now it is renamed as Launch Vehicle Mark III. Here, this is a 3-stage vehicle. So observe here the rocket. This is the rocket. This is a 3-stage. In the first stage, at the beginning, when they are launching, they are liquid boosters. So it is a liquid engine, which is called as Vikas. And then second one, we are using solid fuel. And the third stage, we are using cryogenic engine. So cryogenic engine, we have discussed on February 22nd session. So please go through it. I am not taking it because again it will take some 15-20 minutes. So you can go to February 22nd session of current affairs, and the first article itself, cryogenic engine. So I have discussed there. You can go through it. So there are 3 stages of the rocket. First is using liquid fuel, and then second is solid fuel, and third one is cryogenic. And what is this cryogenic? You please go through the session. Here there will be a satellite which is going to be launched. So all these things will come out in between different stages, and this satellite will go and sit on the orbit, right? So that's how the rocket is worked here, the Gaganyaan one. Also, we need to know this GSLV is aim. I mean, the rocket is used to launch geosynchronous transfer orbits. This I am going to discuss. In previous sessions, I have discussed polar satellite launch vehicles and then other type of the orbits. Here, I am going to exclusively discuss about the geosynchronous transfer orbits. Very, very important. So this vehicle is exclusively used to launch the geosynchronous transfer orbits, right? So also, the third stage we are using cryogenic engine. As I said, this was already discussed. And then this LVM rocket are used to launch mainly communication satellites. Okay, so geosynchronous transfer orbit is very important to understand. Now let's see, before discussing that, there are 2 types of orbits, and observe here. This is Earth, and around it there is a geostationary. So exactly it is synchronized with the equator. Earth equator is here, right? So Earth equator is here. So if I am staying at equator, exactly at the equator they are launching it, and this will be rotating around the equator region. That is called as a geostationary orbit. Geostationary orbit. So please understand here, wherever at the exact location of equator, if this is rotating, that is called as geostationary. Okay. So mainly it observes at the equatorial region. Now geosynchronous orbit has an inclination. See, angle of inclination. So it is not exactly synchronized with the equator, rather it is launched at an angle. So it is rotated like this red color one. It rotates like this. Okay. So this is geostationary and this is geosynchronous, which have different type, because if you are launching here, it covers broader area. If we launch at equator, it covers only shorter area. That's why there are 2 differences, and these are approximately 37,000 kilometers from Earth. As we have seen, the lower Earth orbit, where Gaganyaan is being launched, low Earth orbit, it is just 300 to 400 kilometers from Earth's surface. But these are launched much farther away. So it can cover the much larger area. It can absorb much larger area of Earth, right? Now understand this, as we need to launch at a longer way, first from Earth, it will be launched here at the nearest place. It will, first the orbit will be, first satellite will be launched here, then it will adjust first it will rotate properly. Once it is stabilized, wherever we want to launch at a longer distances, right? So from here, see here. So first from Earth we will launch it as a near one, and then this will be transferred. First this will be adjusted, and then exactly whatever the distance we want towards this side, it will be adjusted. So observe here once. how it is being launched. First it will be launched here, and then it will take the exact location where we want. We cannot directly launch the satellite here, and in the one go we cannot make satellite rotate at the larger radius. It is very difficult. So that's why first it will be launched near, and then shorter diameter, and then it will be adjusted to the longer. So this is called as geotransfer orbit. Wherever we want to keep the satellites, whether it is geosynchronous or geostationary, first we will make it as launch here, and then it will transfer to the exact location wherever we want. This is being launched by LVM, the Launch Vehicle Mark III. So this is being used, right? So that is about the geotransfer orbit which is used. It is like a Earth orbit only, but it is first launched and then adjusted to the exact required location. Okay. So that is one component. We have seen Gaganyaan is going to be launched with the LVM-3 rocket, and then how it works for geotransfer orbits I have explained. Now there is a second component which is important: Test Vehicle Abort Mission, TVD1. This will be also asked, what is TVD1? That was recently in news. It is nothing but, as we are going to launch the humans in the space, what happens if there is a collapse, if there is any failure? There is a threat to the life of those astronauts, isn't it? So our Indian American scientist Kalpana Chawla as well lost her life because of that only. There is a last minute failure. So to test that, if there is any emergency during the launch, we are already testing it. We will simulate a failure condition of the rocket, and then how the astronauts can escape. So that is nothing but a test vehicle abort mission. So if there is a failure, we will abort it, and then astronauts will take the other way, and then they will escape from the rocket or the satellite. Okay. So that is the test vehicle abort mission. Here we have two payloads in it. Payloads means whatever they are carrying, the satellite, whatever it is carrying, it is called as a payload. So they are going to carry crew module where crew can sit, right? So that module will be there, and also one more separate object, separate space where, within the satellite itself there is a space where crew will sit, and then there will be one more instrument, that is crew escape system. So this crew can immediately shift and they can come out of it, and then they will safely land on the Earth. So there are two things, and this simulation is being done using test vehicle abort mission. So that is the mechanism, right? So there is no fact to be remembered. It is just that you need to understand the mechanism, what is the main objective of test vehicle abort mission, right? It is being done in rocket with single liquid rocket, right? So earlier the full mission is going to be launched in a 3-stage LVM, liquid stage, solid stage, and cryogenic engine. But here we are testing only with a small rocket using one liquid stage fuel engine, right? So those are all the facts related to that. Cryogenic engine, as I said, on 22nd February we have discussed. So these components you can go to 22nd February article. Any doubts in this? If you have any doubts, you can ask. A little bit complex. So what we have seen here, but these are all very, very important. You cannot, by just reading, you cannot understand this. You need to understand it clearly what I am teaching, then only you will be able to understand the mechanism. So we have seen the context that 4 scientists has been announced, and then we have seen what actually is Gaganyaan mission, what we want to demonstrate, where it is being launched, and then what are the components to launch the Gaganyaan, what are all we are doing it. We have discussed LVM rocket, which is having a 3-stage, and how it works, what is geotransfer orbit. We have seen this geostationary, geosynchronous, and then transfer orbit also before launching into the exact location. Also we have seen the TVD1 machine, where the scientists can escape when there is a failure, right? So also cryogenic engine you can see on 22nd February session. Any doubt in this? Crew means the members who are sitting. These 4 people are nothing but crew. You know, in movies usually who are cast and crew, we may ask, right? So crew means actors in the movie. Similarly, crew here means the scientists who are going to travel with the space, right? Yeah. So that is the meaning of crew. Any other doubts from this article? This is a little bit complex, that's why I'm asking you repeatedly. If you have any doubts, you can ask so that I can explain. Okay? Yeah. Now let's move to the next article, which is very factual in nature. Prime Minister, our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, has inaugurated Banhial Sangaldan section of railway line. So this is important, this to be remembered. Which of the following railway line was recently launched by Prime Minister in Jammu Kashmir? That may be directly asked in the exam. Okay, right? So here Banhial Sangaldan section was launched. This will be connecting to the Baramulla. You all know Baramulla is a hit by terrorist activities. This is almost bordering to Pakistan. I mean Pakistan occupied Kashmir. So Baramulla is a region where there was lot of terrorist activities and all since many years, right? Even during COVID times and all, we have seen that. So now government is trying to connect this railway line to the Baramulla region. Okay, so indirectly what they are saying, they are going to develop the Jammu Kashmir region. Railways is one of the biggest contributor for development. So they are going to launch. It is in North Kashmir. Here, I mean Jammu is in South Kashmir, isn't it? So south part of Jammu Kashmir is properly connected to the Indian subcontinent. But Northern Kashmir was ignored since many years because of political strategical reasons, right? So now they are going to connect it. He also flagged off, I mean Prime Minister also flagged off Jammu Kashmir's first electric train from Sangaldan to Srinagar. So till now they were using coal and other means, but now they are going to use the first electric train from Sangaldan to Srinagar, right? So this fact is also remember. Now a brief facts about this, whatever the line that they have launched. Observe the diagram here, you will understand it, okay? So here is the Jammu. Jammu, we have many trains from Jammu to the main territory of India, but here Baramulla is almost near to Pakistan occupied Kashmir. This is all northern Kashmir which is yet to develop properly. Okay. Now from Jammu, Udhampur and then Sangaldan, from here they are going to connect Srinagar and Baramulla. So this is the line that they are going to be developed. But how the questions can be asked? You need to remember from where to where it connects and which cities, Srinagar and then Sangaldan, Banhial, Katra. So these numbers you have to remember, okay? So that is about the project. The names has to be remembered for the exam. But there are some more facts related to this project. More than 90%, the total length of this line from here, starting from here to here, it is around 48 kilometers railway line between Banhial. Okay, from Banhial, here it is, where, yeah, Banhial to Jammu, it is 48 kilometers and 90% of this line is completely of tunnels, right? So it is very difficult to construct. The territory there is very difficult to construct. So almost 90% of it will have the tunnels only. And within that, we have the country's longest tunnel as well. 12.77 kilometers. This fact is very, very important. Where is country's longest tunnel located? They may ask. It is in Jammu Kashmir itself, connecting from Sangalgan or you can say Baramulla to Jammu. In between that, we have this, right? So this is the country's longest tunnel. Now it has 16 bridges. They may ask you some statement based, some facts they will ask related to this project. So that's why I'm telling you there are 16 bridges and the total cost is 15,863 crores. Also, there are some escape tunnels, three escape tunnels are there. Whenever if train is stuck or something has happened, so within the tunnels itself there is a connection to different ways, approximately combined length of 30.1 kilometers. So if there is any emergency, we can choose other paths and we can escape from the tunnels, because 90% of the path is tunnels only. If we stuck, who will help us? So there should be an escape tunnel, so that was created as well, right? And we also know, we also should know the history of railways in Jammu Kashmir. There is not too much, there are 1-2 facts which need to be remembered, okay? So the first railway line in Jammu Kashmir was connected in 1897. When Jammu Kashmir was a princely state, so it was constructed way back in 1897, but it has connected from Jammu to Sialkot. Sialkot now is in Pakistan, right? So Jammu to Sialkot they have constructed, but Sialkot went to Pakistan, so that railway line got useless for us, right? But after independence, our first railway line in Jammu Kashmir was got in 1975. Till then, there is no railways. Till 1975, there was no railways for Jammu. They need to reach out to the Punjab, Pathankot, right? They need to reach Punjab and then they need to take railways. But a work was begun, a new railways has started in 1983 and it completed in 2004. Okay, so these facts are not too much important. You just remember when was the first railway line and between these things, and then in Jammu Kashmir when they got, it got around 2004. Since till that time they don't have railways, right? So those are the facts that can be remembered for the exam. First railway line was the overall in India was from Mumbai to Thane, that was in 1853, but in Jammu Kashmir I am saying it is in 1897. Okay, now let's move to the next article, that is election symbols. This is very important article. I mean the polity, you can see polity questions are very high in competitive exams, right? So this is from polity. Recently Election Commission has given a new symbol to Nationalist Congress Party, right? NCP, Nationalist Congress Party. A new symbol was given. The name is man blowing turha, man blowing turha. So this is the symbol. Earlier they have a clock symbol, but now Ajit Pawar, a relative of Sharad Pawar, has deviated with certain members and they have formed a new party. I mean the original party name was given to them by Election Commission. So this NCP has divided into two parties and the clock symbol was taken by Ajit Pawar faction. Now they need new faction because new symbol because elections are coming, and this symbol was given to the Sharad Pawar faction of NCP. So that's why we have taken this article. You need to remember this symbol, but it does not stop here. We need to know what are election symbols, how they are giving it. That is important as well for our exam. Okay. So election symbols in India are given by Election Commission of India. Don't confuse, it is not by any other body, but Election Commission of India under the rules of Election Symbols Order 1968. This year is also important and the rule is also important from where election symbols are being derived. This is Election Symbols Order 1968, and there are some facts. A reserved symbol. There are two types of symbol. One is reserved symbol and other ones are free symbols. Reserved symbols are given to certain political parties who got some good number of seats in the previous elections. They were already have certain percentage of votes. So those symbols are reserved for those parties who has won certain number of seats. And there are some random symbols which were kept aside by Election Commission. So whenever there is some independent, some normal new parties comes into the picture, they will allocate from free symbols. So this is how the questions are framed in statement format. So already existing parties with some majority will be given with the reserved symbol. Already they got, right? So that will be reserved for them, and then free symbols are given to the new parties and independents. Similarly, Election Commission is the one to decide the dispute between the election symbols. So here NCP, there are two parties. So this party is also claiming clock and this party is also claiming clock. But this dispute is dealt by Election Commission, not high courts or Supreme Courts. This is very important. Usually courts comes into the picture, right, whenever there is a dispute. But related to the election symbols, Election Commission is the final authority to decide the dispute within the symbols, right? Yeah. Right. So Election Commission is the only authority to decide the issue related to the merger and these dispute related things. This was also emphasized, and the same Supreme Court itself has said that Election Commission is the final authority to decide. In the case of Sadiq Ali and others versus ECI. This is also important fact. In which court case, Supreme Court case, it said that Election Commission of India has a complete authority to decide the disputes. It is Sadiq Ali versus Election Commission of India 1971, right? And one more thing to be understood here, there are two types of parties, registered parties, national parties and then state parties. So national parties means which contest throughout India, right? There are some 7 or 6, we can say 6 national parties. Now Aam Aadmi Party has also got, and 2 Communist Party as well as some other party has lost it. As of now, there are 6 national parties and they will have a single symbol throughout India. Take example of Congress or BJP. They have a single symbol. For example, BJP has that flower Kamal, and then Congress has the hand, right, hand symbol throughout India. No other party can claim it. They were given exclusively throughout India. And understand here, for state parties, the symbol is given only within the state. So for example, TDP in Andhra Pradesh is using bicycle, right? It is given exclusively within state. So this cycle symbol can be used by someone else in other states. For example, Samajwadi Party, they also have bicycle symbol. TDP in Andhra Pradesh have bicycle symbol, and Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh has also having cycle symbol, bicycle symbol. So within state only it is exclusive. No other party within state can be used. But at the national level in different state they can use. And in case of national symbols, national parties, one symbol is given throughout India. This difference has to be understood, right? So I hope, yeah, you understood the context. That's what I want to explain from this point, right? So any doubts in this election symbols? We have discussed the context. We have discussed the new symbol for NCP, and then we have seen what is the powers of ECI, and then from where they are deriving it, and finally we have seen the court case as well, which justifies the election commission decision, and also how the symbols are given for national party and state party, right? So that is the article related to election symbols. The next article is very short, obelisks, right? So these are the new virus. We already have number of viruses, right? We have different types of virus, bacteria and all. But this was the new discovery. It is a new class of virus has been discovered by Stanford University from USA. You just need to remember the name for what it was discovered. They will directly ask what are obelisks recently seen in news. Okay, so that is the thing. But we will see a little bit more details to make you understand, at least to remember the thing. These are newly discovered class of virus, like any other viruses within the human body. So they were discovered in human body, not in animals. That may be also asked in the exam. This were discovered within human body and were discovered by Stanford University researchers, right? Not an Indian scientist, but an US scientist. They are comprised of large diverse RNAs. We have DNA, right? We have different cells. A human body is nothing but made up of different cells. And within cell, we have nucleus, and within nucleus, we have DNAs. And some insects or some viruses have RNAs in place of DNAs, ribonucleic acids, right? So these viruses has been observed with RNAs rather than DNAs, right? And how they are going to colonize, where they are hosting, that is yet to be known. We don't know till now the details about it. We are still under the research. And it was known that they have only 1,000 characters. DNA has millions, lakhs of characters. But here it was known that as of now they are only having 1,000 characters, this obelisks, right? So they have they have found out that in different human body there are different types of obelisks, right? So this is not yet clear completely. Just know what are these and how they are being identified with the RNAs. That's all. So very basic thing will be sufficient. And what type of disease they can spread, and whether they can even spread any disease like other viruses is yet to be known. There is no evidence that these are spreading any diseases. As of now, we don't have evidence that these are transferring some diseases in the humans. There is no evidence as of now, right? So these are all very basic details about those things. Very simple one, no need of too much complex, because they are yet to be study those things, right? So this is very, very important article, National Science Day. Any doubts? Okay, so this is very important article. Let's see the context first. Today, that is February 28, we are celebrating National Science Day. National Science Day is being celebrated on February 28, okay? And this is being celebrated to mark the contribution of scientists in India. We have a lot of contributions from scientists in India. So in a gratitude manner, to recognize their work, we are celebrating the National Science Day. But the actual derivation comes from C.V. Raman. So this is the day where C.V. Raman has discovered the Raman effect. On the same day in 1928, this year is also important, when was discovered the first Raman effect. On February 28, 1928, right? So this Raman effect was discovered by Sri C.V. Raman, and it was named as Raman effect. We are going to see Raman effect also in brief, don't need to worry, just understand the facts. I will discuss what is Raman effect as well. Okay, so this was discovered, and on the day itself we are celebrating the National Science Day. This Raman effect also got Nobel Prize in 1930. So C.V. Raman got the Nobel Prize in physics. This is very important for exams. So he got the Nobel Prize in physics 1930. So to commemorate his discovery, we are celebrating the Science Day, and the first Science Day was celebrated in 1987. It was not from 1928, rather it was started only from 1987. This is also important to be remembered, right? And this year theme, indigenous technology for Vikshit Bharat. Vikshit Bharat means developed India. So this is the theme for this year's National Science Day. All are facts. Now let's understand what is C.V. Raman effect or Raman effect, right? Here it was observed whenever there is a incident light, I mean the main light, whenever you are keeping certain light on the body. Earlier it was discovered by Rayleigh scattering. The Rayleigh has discovered that there is no change in wavelength. For example, from here light travels in waves, isn't it? Wavelength means what? From crust to crust or trough to trough. So this is wavelength. This is wavelength. So earlier Rayleigh discovered that the waves, light travels in waves, and once it hits the body, the same wavelength is maintained. This orange color ones were discovered by Rayleigh, that the wavelength is not changing. Once it is hitting by some molecules or some objects, there is no change in wavelength. But Raman discovered that certain light which is after hitting this any molecules or any bodies, they are changing their wavelength. Usually, for example, Rayleigh said that this is the wavelength, but now Raman said that after hitting certain object, there is a change in wavelength. See here. So this is the wavelength. There is a change in wavelength. This was not observed by Rayleigh. He just said that the wavelength is same. Light travels in wave, and then once hitting, the same wavelength is maintained. But Raman has discovered it is changing the wavelength. That is Raman effect. Okay. So this is the Raman effect, which we need to know for the exam as well, even in asked in civil service and many other exams as well, right? So that is about the Raman effect and why we are celebrating the National Science Day. Any doubts in this? Yes, C.V. Raman, Chandrasekhar Venkata Raman. C.V. Raman is the Indian scientist, okay, from Tamil Nadu region. Way back before independence, he discovered this Raman effect in 1928, right? Next article, 10,000 Genome Project or Indian Genome Project. It is also called as Indian Genome Project, Genome India Project, right? So Ministry of Science and Technology, specifically Department of Biotechnology under Ministry of Science, has officially said that we have completed the 10,000 genome projects. 10,000 genome project has been completed. So this is a single project, okay, don't confuse. 10,000 genome project has been completed. What is this project and all, we will see. Don't worry, just understand the context that this project has been completed by Department of Biotechnology. Now, what is Genome India project? Before going into this, let's understand what is genomes. We will come back to this. We will come back. Let's understand what is genome and what are the genome sequencing. See, our human body has a cell. So if you take the skin, there are thousands of millions of cells. Our whole body itself is nothing but a cell. And within the cell, we have a nucleus. So this is nucleus. This is the cell and this is the nucleus. And within nucleus, we have chromosomes. We have a 23 set of, so this is one set. So such type of chromosomes we have 23. So total 46 chromosomes and there are 23 set of chromosomes, right? So understand this, we have cell in the body and within cell we have nucleus and within nucleus we have chromosomes, 23 chromosomes, and within chromosome we have DNA, okay? Within chromosome we have DNA. Any doubts in this? Because this is very important to understand. When we will get PDF, you will get a PDF after the session. I have already informed the team, Nachiket, So you will get the PDF, don't worry. After the session, a link will be added to the video. Okay, so you understand this. This is very, very important. Cell, nucleus, within nucleus we have chromosomes, within chromosomes we have DNA, and in DNA we have a, see here, we have a different other members as well. So what are those called? Yes, we have, yes, these are nucleotide bases: adenine, cytosine, guanine and thymine. These are all the nucleotide bases you can see here. So every human have different set. I am having different set, you are having different set. So based on our parents we get different combinations of these 4 nucleotide bases, right? So these are also asked in the exam. If you are writing exams related to science and technology, if you have science and technology syllabus, they will ask you these things. So I am explaining you from very basic level. We have cells and all, and then within DNA we have a different bases. These are the bases, right? So this is the structure. Now why government has taken this particular project, that we will understand. Okay, government want to identify the DNA of Indians, because Indians face lot of diseases like tuberculosis, heart attacks, diabetes. These are all genetic. These are not a communicable disease, rather they are some genetic reason. So to understand the genetics across India, we have number of different groups. We have Mongoloids, we have Dravidians, we have Aryans. So different races are there. So government want to collect all the combinations of DNA. Approximately 10,000 were targeted. 10,000 genome sequences want to be known clearly using science and technology, whatever that is available. You don't need to worry about too much complexity or technicalities. Government has decided to collect the things so that they know what type of medicines to be prepared, what type of measures to be prepared, what type of nutrition food to be given for different races. So to know those, government has attempted to collect all these things, genome sequences. Across India, there were 20 institutions involved, but no need to remember those. You remember only 2 institutions. One is IISc Bangalore and other one is Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology in Hyderabad. These 2 organizations has led this project, and it is funded by Department of Biotechnology, launched in 2020. So in 4 years, we were able to complete these things. That was announced by the Department of Biotechnology, right? And once the project is completed, we have completed the projects. What are the benefits? So these are the benefits. One is government will know the population diversity, how diverse the population races in India are, right? So that will be known. And then genetic predispositions. So they will know what type of genes people have, what type of diseases can be developed. They know before, so accordingly they can develop the cure also, right? Or mitigate the diseases. And then they also develop personalized and customizable drugs. We have a single drug for all the population now. Paracetamol is consumed by everyone, but we don't know how efficient it is in different population. That will also be known, and accordingly drugs will be prepared with the different combinations. And then improve gene therapy. Now there are a lot of genetical disease, right? Parkinson's disease, we have a lot of genetic disease. So if we know this gene among the population in India, so they can slightly modify the DNA, that is genes, and they can cure the disease as well. There is a lot of such technology, such as CRISPR-Cas9. This was already asked in civil services exam, CRISPR-Cas9. So such type of technologies are there to edit the genes, and then they can reduce the disease, right? So that is about this project. We have seen what is genome sequencing, and then what are all the things we have explained through this diagram, right? So any doubts in this? Very good, Malini. Thank you for the response. I hope this is clear. I'm explaining as much as possible, right? So today's last article is about Rajya Sabha elections and whip. Again, this is from Polity. Very important, right? So the context is this, why we have taken this article. 15 Rajya Sabha seats in Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Himachal Pradesh were marked with cross voting. Usually how it happens, I'll tell you how Rajya Sabha elections work. So if this is Rajya Sabha, there are number of seats. We will see how many number of seats are there. So MLAs from different states, Rajya Sabha members are elected not directly by people, unlike Lok Sabha. The Rajya Sabha members are elected by the MLAs of different states. So Uttar Pradesh the Rajya Sabha members from Uttar Pradesh will be elected by MLAs of Uttar Pradesh. Rajya Sabha member from Andhra Pradesh or Telangana will be elected by MLAs from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana respectively, right? So this is how it works. But some members of Congress has voted BJP and some members of BJP has voted Congress. Some cross voting has happened, right? That's why we have taken this article. We will see what is this thing and what are whips and all, what type of directives, we will see it, okay? Yes. So what is Rajya Sabha? Before knowing all these things, Rajya Sabha is a upper house, right? Upper house means, Lok Sabha is a lower house, which is elected by people, and then Rajya Sabha is a upper house. The role of Rajya Sabha is to cross-check the validity or the working nature of Lok Sabha. How the Lok Sabha is elected? Directly by the people, and if there is any single party who got the majority, 400 seats, they can do whatever they want, right? So that's why Rajya Sabha is there. They have to pass the bill through Rajya Sabha as well, not only Lok Sabha. So Rajya Sabha has a diverse. In our India, we have a number of parties at the state level. At the central level, okay, we have 2 parties and 1 party is dominating. But in state level, we have a number of parties and number of MLAs will elect different Rajya Sabha members, and those will not directly support the government because the parties at the state level are different, right? So that's why Rajya Sabha is there to cross-check the measures taken by the Lok Sabha. Now, what is the composition of Rajya Sabha? Article 80 discusses about the composition of Rajya Sabha. This will be directly asked in the exam. Which article talks about the composition of Rajya Sabha? It is Article 80, and what this Article 80 says, the maximum strength of Rajya Sabha members should be 250. This is the maximum strength that is possible. And out of that, 238 should be elected by the MLAs and 12 should be nominated by the President. So out of these 250, 238 are elected by the MLAs and 12 seats are nominated by the President. Okay, so if there are some members who are intellectuals, who are from contributing for society like sports, even Sachin Tendulkar was part of the Rajya Sabha nominated member few years before, right? So there is a there was a eligibility for members who can be nominated by the President. This is the composition. Also, Article 83, within Article 80 there is a provision 3. They said any members related to the literature, science, art and social service can be nominated by the President. So the Constitution itself has clearly said who all can be nominated. This is also important provision. And then there are certain union territories which are having assemblies like Pondicherry, Delhi. So for them, the Constitution has given power to the Parliament to make a separate law how the members of Rajya Sabha from UTs can be elected. Accordingly, Parliament has passed the act and they said that similar to the states, the MLAs in the union territories can be elected. So the same provision was followed. Similarly, how many seats are allocated to each of the state is mentioned in 4th schedule. 4th schedule, we have 12 schedules in the Indian Constitution and under the 4th schedule, this was mentioned, right? Now, who are eligible to vote in the Rajya Sabha? That is also important. I have already said the elected members of the house. There are, in some states, there are MLCs. There are some legislative councils apart from assembly, like Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. But those are all not eligible. Only elected members of legislative assembly are eligible to, vote in the elections. Okay. And in union territories, there are, if there is an assembly, then those are the members. Else, the President will nominate some member, right? And what is the difference between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha? That also we will know here. Election process in Lok Sabha is directly elected by the people. Whoever gets the first past the vote. For example, there are 100 votes and then some person got 33, some person got 28, some person got 20. So whoever got the majority, they will get it. They no need to get 51% votes. But in Rajya Sabha, they need to get a 51% votes. The majority members, MLAs has to, whoever is voting, among that 51% has to get in the Rajya Sabha, right? And minimum age of Lok Sabha is 25, Rajya Sabha is 30, right? This is a temporary body. For every 5 years, we need to conduct the election. But in Rajya Sabha, it is a permanent body. For every 2 years, some people will retire and some new people will come in. So for every 2 years, the members, some 1/3 of members will keep changing, but this will remain in place. Lok Sabha may be dissolved, but Rajya Sabha is a permanent body, right? And the total strength of Lok Sabha is 550 members. Out of that, 530 members represent states and 20 members for UTs. And in Rajya Sabha, the total members is 250. We have already seen this, right? And then electoral college, that is who can vote in Lok Sabha, any person above 18 years age can vote. It is not 21, okay? Don't confuse. So any member above 18 years can vote, and here only MLAs can vote, right? Now, what is whip? We need to know about whip as well. So what has happened in elections, Rajya Sabha elections yesterday, a few days back, some members has cross-voted. Congress MLAs voted in for BJP, and BJP MLAs in Karnataka has voted to Congress. So there is a role of whip. Whip means whoever is the senior member from the party. For example, Congress is there or BJP is there. These parties will appoint one person as a whip. He is the one who directs all the members of the party to act in certain direction. If, say for example, if this whip said that everyone has to present on this day and vote, so they all need to present and vote, else their membership will be discontinued or suspended, right? So whip is a written order given by a party through a senior most member to all its party members, right? So those are called as whip. Whip is nothing but a senior member who is appointed by a party to guide its members. But now, why we are discussing this? We will see that in the next few things. Parties appoint a senior member as a whip, I already said. And there are three types of whips. This is very important for exam. There are three types of whip: one line whip, two line whip, three line whip. So in the written order, it will be like this: whip one line, whip two line, whip three line. So based on the number of lines, there is an increase in importance. So if a written order is given with whip one line, that means it is not very important, it is just a direction. Whip 2 means yes, it is important but not very, very important. Whip 3 is very, very important. We will see. One line whip is usually issued to inform the party members to vote and allow them to abstain in case they decided not to follow. So for example, it says that you have to vote in this election, and if you don't like to vote in this particular election, you can abstain. Rather than voting against the party, you can abstain, you can escape, you don't need to vote to anyone. That is the one line whip. And second line whip directs that everyone has to present. No person should be escaped. Everyone should present at a given time. So they will mention that everyone has to be present. This is two line. And the third line is the most important whip, three line whip. They will say that everyone has to present and also everyone has to vote to particular person, that is our party member. No one should abstain, no one should absent, everyone has to come and vote. So this is the most important whip, right? Three line whip. Now what has happened in the Rajya Sabha elections? So okay, before that, what if lawmakers won't follow this? Party has issued the whip that everyone has to present, but if members are not present or they are not voting, then they are subjected to disqualification. They can be suspended from Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. But who can suspend it? Only speaker or chairperson of the respective house can be suspended. For example, visualize, opposition has said that this person has not followed the whip, right? So speaker has to take the decision. Speaker is from elected party, so he may not take he may not take the decision. So this is a political aspect that I am not going to discuss. But yes, everyone has to follow, and if it is not followed by the members of the party, whatever whip said, they can be suspended by the speaker or chairman of Rajya Sabha, right? Now, what has happened in the current Rajya Sabha elections? Few days back, there was a cross voting. We will understand that also, then you will understand the importance of whip. In the current rules, there is no issue, there is no whip in Rajya Sabha elections. In Lok Sabha elections, yes, and other Rajya Sabha aspects to present and all, yes, it is there. Whip can be directed. But in Rajya Sabha elections, no whip is possible. So it was mentioned by Election Commission, the rules, that whips are not possible in case of Rajya Sabha. That means what? If I am from Congress, I can vote to BJP. And if some other person is BJP, they can vote to Congress. So there is no action of whip in case of Rajya Sabha election. Very, very important fact, right? So Congress, what they have done, they have issued whip. Even though it is not possible in Rajya Sabha, Congress has given the whip that everyone has to come and vote. They should not abstain from election, right? But what has happened? BJP, the ruling, the BJP party has complained to the election commission that whip is not possible in Rajya Sabha election. Then Congress has issued, so it is against that. So they have complained against the Congress, and Congress have taken back that whip, whatever they have issued, they have taken back because that is against the rule, right? So this has happened, and some members, maybe some background, they may be given with some money and all. I'm not going to discuss that political issues, but this is how it happened. There is no whip in case of Rajya Sabha. That's why there was a cross voting. But if it is some other elections like Lok Sabha or taking the majority of the bills, then the members will be suspended, right? So this has happened. Any doubts in this? Now moving to the factual pointers, final facts. 21st edition of BioAsia. 21st edition of BioAsia has happened in Hyderabad yesterday. Okay, so what is this? They discuss about the science related issues, whatever the life related vaccines and all they will discuss. It was conducting every year by government of Telangana. So every year it is happening in Hyderabad only, and it was started in 2003. Okay, so this year theme is transforming life sciences with the data and artificial intelligence. This is the theme of this year BioAsia Summit. So this is 21st edition. Where it is happening? Hyderabad. These are facts. The next article, Honorable Prime Minister has launched first railway line in Sikkim. So till now Sikkim does not have railway line. So this is the first time the railway line has been inaugurated. I mean, it was just a foundation. We had to get them. So it was established in Rangpo. This is also important. Rangpo in Sikkim, right? So these are the two facts. Now let's move to the practice questions. If you have any doubts, you can ask here. Let's move to the practice questions for today. We have discussed exhaustively. I hope you are ready. Okay. Yeah. So first article or first question, I would say, Pay Jal Survekshan Awards are an initiative of. Anyone? Take 10 seconds because this is a direct question. Pay Jal Survekshan Awards are initiative of Niti Aayog, Jal Shakti Ministry, Ministry of Housing, Prime Minister Office. Okay. So Niti Aayog, no, we have seen it is not Niti Aayog, it is not Prime Minister Office. Easily you can eliminate it with some logic at least, right? So there are two confusing options. Anyone? So we have seen it is launched by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. So you may confuse with Jal Shakti Ministry. That's why I have added this. So this is not Jal Shakti Ministry, rather it is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Okay. So that is 1B, yes, sorry, 1 not B, it is C, Malini. To confuse you itself, I have created this option. Okay. Next question, with reference to election symbols, consider the following statements. We have discussed exhaustively. See, without listening the questions, you may or may not be able to answer the questions. But if you thoroughly understand the class, you can easily answer these questions. Two parties can have a same election symbols in India. I mean, not at national level, at state, different states. In different states you can write, in different states. Okay. Two state parties, okay, here it is already said it is state parties. Okay. So two state parties can have a same election symbols. Okay. First one. Second one, after split in the political party, only the election commission has the power to decide which faction of political party gets the allocated symbol. So only election commission will have the power. Anyone? Second one, second statement. So first statement, yes, that is correct. As I said, TDP example and then Samajwadi party, both have bicycle symbol because they are contesting in different states. If it is a national party, then yes, only one symbol will be there. But as this is a two state parties, this is correct. And only election commission has the power to decide on the split. So both the statements are correct. Answer is C. Next question. Consider the following statements. So this is about the National Science Day. Let's see who can answer this, right? National Science Day is celebrated every year on February 28th. First statement. We have discussed these things exhaustively, right? It is celebrated to mark the C.V. Raman's discovery of scattering of light, known as Raman effect. So this is the second statement. Third is, the theme of 2024 National Science Day is Global Science for Global Well-being. So this is the theme. 2 is C. Yes, you are correct, Malini. We are solving the next question, third question, right? So National Science Day, these are the 3 statements. First statement is correct. It is celebrated on February 28. It is celebrated on the discovery of Raman effect. And then theme is Global Science for Global Well-being. No, this is not the theme of 2024, rather it is a theme of 2023. Our theme is Vikshit Bharat, developed Vikshit Bharat was the theme. So I have said in the beginning itself. So this is a wrong statement. Answer is A, 1 and 2 only. Okay. Next question, which of the following statements about WIP is incorrect? We have seen the WIP. What is WIP? How? What type of are there? Yes, Malini, you are correct. Third one is A. It is not this theme, right? So this is a question related to the WIP. We have seen the working of WIP, what are all the WIPs and all. The office of WIP is based on the Article 97 of Indian Constitution. Next statement, every political party, whether ruling or opposition, has its own WIP in the parliament. Under anti-defection law, a member can be disqualified if she does not vote in accordance with the instruction of the WIP. A 3-line WIP is issued on important occasions such as no confidence motion. So these, among these 4 statements, they are asking which is the wrong one, which is the wrong option. So let's see. Yes, 3-line I said, 3-line WIP is very, very important. So this is a correct. No confidence motion is very important one. So this is the correct statement. Anti-defection law, yes, if they are not voting, they will be disqualified by the speaker. So this statement is also correct. Every political party, whether opposition or the government, has this, right? Office of WIP, the office of WIP is not mentioned in the Indian Constitution. It is nowhere mentioned. It is just a convention. That rule is being followed since many years, right? So there is no mention of WIP in the Indian Constitution, remember. So this is a wrong statement. Fourth one is A. Last question for today, very direct question. Which of the following is the only state in India that does not have a railway station till now? Meghalaya, Tripura, Sikkim, or Arunachal Pradesh? 4 is not B, Malini. See, any ruling party or opposition can have their own WIP individually, and then they can give instructions to the party members. But it is not mentioned in the Indian Constitution. That is very important provision to be remembered. Okay. Last question, which of the following is the only state? We have seen this, right? So Sikkim was not having any railway station till now. Only foundation stone was laid. So Sikkim does not have any railway station till now, right? So that is the today's article, today's discussion, and we have seen the important news as well as some practice questions as well. So keep learning. Thanks a lot for the support. Have a great evening. Bye.